which made it a little less repetitive and boring.
And Ritchie was a figure of mystery.
I heard Hendrix play that intro.
Which they mean absolutely nothing.
I never thought of that.
That was really convinced the vast mass of their fans.
And we did that very quickly.
I was like dazed. I went home to my mum and dad. I said, I need a guitar. I have to have a guitar.
This track was an early showcase of Deep Purple's Mark II lineup, and it made their intentions crystal clear.
Black Knight, not right.
Ritchie Blackmore's Black Knight is one of those songs that just sticks with you. It's a classic Deep Purple track, full of grit, energy, and that unmistakable riff that seems to define early 70s rock. But like many great songs, the story behind its creation is just as interesting as the track itself. Released as a single in 1970, Black Knight shot up the UK charts and became one of the band's biggest hits. By 1970, Deep Purple was going through a transformation. They'd started off with a mix of progressive rock and psychedelic sounds, but guitarist Ritchie Blackmore was steering the band toward a heavier, more riff-driven style, what we now think of as classic hard rock.
He was such an advanced musician, way ahead of his time. Way, way ahead.
And Ritchie was a figure of mystery and wonder already. You know, Ritchie Blackmore was something incredible. I mean, nobody could play like that in those days. And this is before Hendrix, you know, so Ritchie really is a great originator and creator of the wild electric guitar.
The band was working on their landmark album, Deep Purple and Rock, when their management asked for a single to go along with the release. This meant they had to come up with something quick, and they did.
We were in the studio doing Deep Purple and Rock, and the management came in, and amazing, you know, these people that go, you know what you need is a hit record. And you go, I never thought of that. A hit record, yeah.
The record company insisted and insisted, and so we were trundled into a studio in Queensway and told to write one. Well, you know, there's nothing less likely to make you write a single than that.
And I started playing.
The main riff of Black Knight actually has a bit of an interesting backstory. Blackmore borrowed the melody from Ricky Nelson's version of the song Summertime.
And then Ritchie said, again, what about that, you know, that version of Ricky Nelson's Summertime from, you know, the Gershwin song? And we went, yeah. He said, well, there's a little riff under there, which but it just went around and around. One of us, who knows who, came up with the idea of putting a turnaround in it.
And that is based on Ricky Nelson put out a tune called Summertime in 1958, which, you know, he's singing Summertime, Summertime.
Summertime.
And the living is easy, you know. That was the bass riff.
And the living is easy.
Blackmore slowed it down, gave it a darker, heavier feel, and a new classic was born. He's often been open about drawing inspiration from other music, But what made Blackmore unique was how he twisted those influences into something fresh and powerful.
Okay, let's have a verse. Put a verse in there.
Black night is not right. I don't feel.
The top line was. Right? Add that. So right there, you've got 2 hit records. Because if you go.
I don't care to sit tight. Maybe if I on the way down the line that I'm free.
Hey Joe. So as soon as I heard Hendrix play that intro, I thought, you got that from the same record that we got the bass riff.
Free to be me. Black night is a long way from home.
What's amazing about Black Knight is how quickly the band put it together. They were already deep into the recording of their Deep Purple in Rock album when they got the request for a single.
Deep Purple in Rock was out, and the record company decided that there wasn't a single on it, which didn't worry us one bit. We were of the opinion that in England, singles didn't really matter for a band of our type.
Black night is a long way from home.
With little time to spare, Ritchie Blackmore, along with John Lord, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, and Ian Pace, sat down in the studio to create something new.
Which made it a little less repetitive and boring, and then Ian Pace did one of his magical little things, where one of those drum breaks that he used to come up with in those days. What are you doing there, Ian? I have no idea, it just fits, you know. So that was cool. Suddenly we had a sort of a structure. And we came up with, I don't know, about 3 minutes of this.
According to bassist Roger Glover, the whole song came together in just a few hours.
I think Roger might have thrown in a couple of rhymes. And then we had Black Knight.
And we did that very quickly. Very quickly. And all of a sudden, of course, that went to number 1, or number 2, number 1. It was funny how it was written like that, very quickly. And that's the best way to write a song.
It all started with Blackmore's killer riff, which was the foundation of the song. Ian Gillan, known for his powerful vocals, came up with the lyrics on the spot.
It was rocking on quite nicely, and Gillan disappeared into a corner and came back with a set of utterly nonsensical lyrics, which they mean absolutely nothing as far as I can tell.
Black night, I don't need.
The words are a bit mysterious and vague, but they fit perfectly with the moody vibe of the song.
Dark light, maybe a flag on the way down the line that I'm free.
Black Knight was recorded at Delane Lee Studios in London, where Deep Purple had already been working on other tracks. The production was handled by Martin Birch, who had a talent for capturing the band's live energy in the studio. Birch's style worked perfectly with Deep Purple's heavier sound and helped shape the final version of the track.
Sit tight, maybe a flag on the way down the line that I'm free.
Unlike some of their other songs, Black Knight is surprisingly simple. There's no long organ solo from John Lord, which was often a signature part of Deep Purple's music. Instead, The song focuses on Blackmore's riff, Gillan's commanding voice,
Can't see, maybe I'm flying on the way down the line that I'm free.
and the rock-solid rhythm section of Glover and Pace. That stripped-down approach gave the song an immediate, raw appeal that fans loved. When Black Knight was released, it was an instant hit. Even though it wasn't included on the Deep Purple in Rock album, the song became a fan favorite and a regular part of the band's live shows. Its success helped cement Deep Purple as one of the pioneers of hard rock, alongside bands like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath.
It was the era of Black Sabbath, of course, and Led Zeppelin. So to see Deep Purple really focus and get down to it on their rock album, that was really convinced the vast mass of their fans. And really, for the first time, Deep Purple became like among the top 3 British bands.
Ritchie Blackmore has always been a bit of a perfectionist, and while he sometimes downplayed the importance of Black Knight in interviews, he couldn't deny its impact.
It actually changed my life. It was my first gig ever. We got right up against the stage, right in front of Ritchie. He came out, Purple came out, and he just blew me away. It was way more than I expected. It was just a lot. And, you know, after that, I was like dazed. I went home to my mum and dad. I said, I need a guitar. I have to have a guitar.